Hi everyone, in this video I'm creating a hero section, a modern looking hero section from Figma design to Framer website, right? In this video we'll learn so many things like components, how to create components and how to use the component states, variants and other things like frames, stack, CSS grid, all the basic features that you need to create a website in Framer. My name is Ashok. I'm a Webflow Week student Framer certified developer at Twig Designs, where we specialize in creating high quality website templates that you can use in your businesses. So let's dive into the video. Okay, to start with creating hero section, there are a few things I keep in mind. One is setup. First step in creating any website, I set up like sizing, fonts and colors. So as you can see here in this design, which is I purchased from UI8, right? I don't know the name of the creator, but I purchased it from the UI8. You can go and check out website designs from there. So sizing, right? Sizing means which size I want to use. Let's say the container size should be like 1160 pixel. The width, maximum width of my page would be 1160 pixels, right? And then the colors, right? What kind of colors they are using here? Let's say the black, this blue color, and at the end is like fonts. Which fonts they are using here? They are using Poppins, right? So all these things I keep in mind before start building a website in Framer. So to create this kind of hero section, if you look at here, what we are going to build is this logo carousel using the ticker in Framer, and this hero image section here with little bit of animations at the end and adding this background, nice looking background. I have already exported these items, these images, these SVGs for logo and other things to my folder, and if you want to play along, you can also play along with this video, right? So let's go to Framer. I already have a Framer website created in my project. It's free to create. Go log into Framer and create your first Framer project. So what we need to go to assets, and us in the assets, let's go to the styles. In the styles, I want the text style for my heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Let's say for heading 1, I'll just click on this text style, and here I will choose it to Poppins. I'll just write Poppins. Here I have the Poppins which I can choose from that one, and here I need to make sure that it's 72 pixels and 120% of line height, right? Let's say 72 pixels. The font size should be 72 pixel. Here you can create for all the breakpoints. Let's see if I add breakpoints here. It would be like for the desktop, tablet and mobile. If you want to do, you can do that stuff here. Here the 72 pixel and the line height should be, let's say 1.3 m or let's say 1.5 m for now, and we can test it out later. Don't worry about it, right? So that was for my heading, and the color was this neutral they are using here. I'll just copy the color from there and I'll just add the color here, right? Once the color is added, I'll create a style here. What was the name? It was neutral 900 and 900, right? That would be my neutral 900 color, which I can use later on. See, they are adding the styles here, the colors and the text. I can easily change from here, right? Now I want the paragraph also. For my paragraph, it's like 20 pixels they are using for the for hero section. They're using 20 pixels there. So for paragraph, let's go to paragraph here, and here enter, I will change it to Poppins again. You change that to Poppins, and regular, the color, let's take the color from here, neutral 400. This is neutral 400, and let's add the color here, neutral 400 and 400, which I can refer back later if I have to change. If I make change any here, if I make any changes here, it will reflect to all over the website, right? So it will help you when you are creating multiple pages. Right now we are just creating hero section, but that's fine. Let's see the buttons. We can create the buttons as a component so that we can reuse them again and again. We have this logo down there. And what else do we have? Other colors do we have? We have this blue color which we can use, this primary blue color. Let's grab that hex code for that color. Here let me go to style. Here I want to add a color style. This one would be like primary, my primary 500. And so for me, like P is like for primary, N is for neutral. For you, if you want to write primary, the whole word, you can write whole word there, right? So it's primary color there. And what else do we need for this one? I don't like this light. It's very light and I don't think it's perfect. So I'll change it while developing the page. So don't worry about that one. Let's start with building the page now. I think this color is fine. Neutral 400. We already have neutral 400, so it's good. What else do we have? Poppins medium, it's fine. So let's start with this Poppins semi bold. Let's make heading 1. Poppins weight is bold. Now let's make it semi bold, means everywhere wherever we are using this heading 1, it will be like semi bold. Let me just show you. If I just heading 1, and here if I come to the styles one and I select heading 1, just look at it, and the colors and everything is coming from our style panel that we have just created, right? So that's how you can create a style assets, and you have to create it for all the headings, the paragraphs. Let's say there are 3 types of paragraphs or 4 types of paragraphs you create: large, medium, small and extra small, right? And 6 heading styles, and other, let's say display 1, 2, 3. If you want to create the big headings for just showing your text or display text, right, that you can also create here within this one, right? If you want to add code, you can also add code here. To create components, you can create components from here, but let's create the button component first and then we can move on to building the page, right? To create a button component, I'm here on this one. I think okay, it's using this auto layout feature here. So let's go here and add a layout. Click on this layout frame, and I'll just add that frame here, and inside that frame I will add a text. Inside that frame, button text, right? So that's within that. So if you want to see that, you can come here and check the layout. I'll just name the frame to button and the button text. So here I will create the layout. So okay, for width, I'll make it fit to content. For height, I'll make it fit to content. Sorry, fit to content. So now if I come here, it is like 16 pixel from both the sides, right? Let's come here, cap here, right 16, left 16. Just look at these, right? And 14 from top and bottom, 14 from top and bottom, 14 from top, and this is the button. And let's go here, gap, we don't need any gap here because it's a button that we are creating right now. Radius, let's make it 999, so it's full. And the button color would be our color that is coming from the style panel that we have created here, and the button text can be white, right? So come here and change it to white. So this is how we can create button. It's a component now. I'll convert into a component so I can reuse them later for building this one, right? So I'll just click here on this create component button. Okay, so now, so here I have, like, let's say if someone hovers on my button, I want to change its color to a little bit darker. So I'll come down here and I'll just let's say a little bit whiter or a little bit darker. Let's say a little bit darker color. Let's not that dark. Okay, I think this is perfect. And let's say if someone press my button, when the button is pressed, I want that button color to be more darker, right, rather than that one. So I'm just guessing this part right now, so don't worry, because your designer, you will give you everything, right, that you need, like primary, hover, pressed, when someone pressed on the button, what the color should be and all that would be in the design system given by your designer. So I'm just guessing this part for myself right now, so don't worry about anything here. So I want to create a variant here. This is my let's say primary. I'll just write primary button, and sorry for that, you let's use here the variant 2 would be like button outline, right? So here I want to create a button outline. The same stays the same one, but the background color changes to, let's make it the background white, and let's add a border color should be this. So that would be my border, a solid border, and the text within that one would be, I think, neutral. Let's use this one, neutral. Okay. And one more thing that I want to add is this pop-ins medium. The font weight is medium here, so I'll just add medium and it will be added here as well automatically. So I'll just add mediums. Just look at this, all right. And for other things, that those would be like, let's say if someone hovers on it, I want to change it to, let's say the background color could be anything. Let's make it this one, and again the text can be white here, and let's not make that, let's use this color, this one that we used earlier. I don't know why it's not working, but let's change it to something else, right? And pressed, when someone pressed the button, I want to make it something more darker, but I think this is fine to me. Let's go again here and just preview that part. Just look at this. If I press that button, the color changes. If I just remove everything, just look at the button. If I hover on that, it shows you that particular thing, like changing color, right? So I have the button. Now what we need to do is we need to create this navigation bar first. Let's start with the navigation bar here. I'll just delete that button. I can go to assets and I can find that button from here. So don't worry about that button anymore. So I'll start with the navigation, but before the navigation, I want to make sure that my frame, this would be like, this is like my frame. This is my frame for header. Just write navbar here, and if for that navbar, let's make it, for that navbar, I want this navbar to be first something, create the desktop, and the layout should be vertical, right? The stack should be vertical so that we can easily change this part. This fill, it's filled right now, and let's say the height of it, let's fix the height of that particular one. It's 100 pixels. Let's make it 100 for that container. For the navbar one, let's change its color to nothing, because it's transparent down there. And now let's change, or not change, but now let's add a container within that navbar. Let's call it a container, which you can use here. I'll select the navbar and I will set the layout to be in the center, right? No gap. I don't want any gaps down there. And this is my container, and this container can take the full height, right? So here I can just fill it, and I can add here the max width of that container should be 1160 pixels, right? So now it's fixed. Means if you look at here, if I just scale, increase the width of my browser, right, the screen, it won't stretch apart from this maximum width given to this particular item, the container, right? So that's how you can change it. So now just look at this part. Okay, so that's how you can add that. So I'll make it transparent again, and I will add a logo. Okay, let's look at this 24 from top, 24 from bottom, and 24. I'll just follow this design here. 20 gap. I don't need any gap, but I need the 24 given from all the sides. And let's create in that container, let's add another layout which is like a grid, let's click here. We want 3 columns, and we want only one row here. Okay, I don't know why it's not changing the row. Columns auto, not auto. Fill container center, that's perfect. But here I just want only one row. See, that's why what I do is normally I just use the frame again. I just drag the frame, and here in the layout I make it like this one, or you can stack it, right? Now let's use the stack one, and menu items, just name it menu items, and the width would be fill to whatever you have, and the height should be fill, means you have padding given to that nav bar, the container we had, right? 24 from all the sides, and inside that we have this logo. So I already have few things here which I can use. The logo, the company logo here, which we can use in this one. Okay, let's use logo and drag here. In this menu we have the logo there, and we can have a button assets, and here I can just drag and drop into my canvas, and again select your menu and this button, just drag and drop the button there. I think the button is way small. No, it's the same height, right? The button, and this one, let's use this and make it like grid. I want 3 columns and one for that one, and for this one, don't worry about that bad thing happened to this logo. But here we have the proper content and this item, and we need these links, right? Links given to this particular nav bar. For that one I'll just use this link text down there, and I can arrange them here. The width is minimum is given, the height is content, and fix the width of that particular item is minimum is 25, right? So it's fine, it's not an issue. Now, so as you can see here, we have the logo, right? Logo down there, logo, right? Say the relative, let's make it relative, and we can change it. But before that, let's say we have the links here, we have the logo there, we can frame them, add a frame. I'm just using right click to add them to a frame, so that I can easily use them. See, now as you can see, I have my logo there, and I can just change the logo the way I want. I'll just add the layout here and not start, and here I can the center space between and align to this particular the way I want here. The logo is here, these items which I can use to add this one. I have the logo here. As you can see, the logo is already attached to that one. I'm using a stack down there to make some changes to this positioning and this logo. I have this fixed width of this logo. You can see the width of your logo here in your design, and you can add the logo down there, right? So after doing that, let's change the color of these to, I don't want any color there, and for this link I want a different color. For the link, I think we can go with this one, or let's say this one, right? That color we can go with for the link, and that's how you can create a navbar. Let me just use this link again and duplicate the link, and we can use a stake here for this link to create another. Let's use this and layout. Now I want this horizontal and I want a gap between those is 16 pixel or more than that. Let's say 24 pixel of gap between those logos, the links, and the stack. Let's say fixed width. From this fixed width, I want that to fit the content, whatever the content I have, and for the same goes for the button as well. Fit the content means for this one I can like make it like right now fix. I can fill it up to whatever the width I want for that one, right? So this is how you can create it. And as you can see, we have amount of space, and let's add another links down here. I have links created and that button. Now let's preview it and just check it out. Just look at this one, right? It's not responsive right now, so don't worry about it. It's not responsive. We have to make it responsive. Once it's created, let's move on to this part, this text here. But before that, let's add a background. And to add a background, I will just create a new frame here, which will be like a full width fill. And again, the position can be absolute, right? From top, I want 0. And here, let's say navbar. I can go to navbar, and here in the style, if we have the z index, let's go and add the z index to 1 or 10. Let's say 10 z index means it will be on top of all the contents that you have. The navbar. Now let's choose the frame for this one and add a background to it, right? From here you can choose the background, the image, and for that one I already have the background. So there I have the background for that hero section, which right now currently is like, let's say I'm just using it here. As you can see, it's coming along the way we want our page to be. Let's calculate the particular height of our one. It's like 1180. Now let's go, and for this one hero section, and the height right now I'm using 1180 just to make sure that it works smoothly. And for the height, I'll make it fit not fit content, but let's increase it to the content we have, right? More than that means right now this is how you can add the hero section and the image in the background, right? So now what we need is we need to add a container inside that hero section. So to add a container, let's create another frame here. I'll create a frame, and width for this would be like fill. Let's use the fill one here. Okay, we don't have fill, so what I'll do, I'll select that hero section again, and here in the layout I'll make it stack again, right? And I'll make it from start. I want to give some padding. It's like 130. As you can see, there was 130 from top, 130 pixels of padding. And for this container, again you can add this, make it fill, but let's give it a max width of 1160 pixels, not percentage but pixels. 1160 pixels of max width to that particular. Okay, I don't know why. Okay, it is fit 1160 960 pixels. Okay, then what was okay, 1160 for that one. And again here let's use the 1160. That's pretty strange. should be width should be 100%. And I don't know why, for some reason it's just showing me that. Okay, what's the width of this particular? Okay, so I think, oh, my bad here. We had to make it like fill. Now they are perfect, right? Now it's working. Now it's illustrating because our desktop size is 1200 pixels. The width is already given here 1200 pixels, right? Okay, so it was my bad. Now we have this particular width 1160 pixel of particular container we have, and inside that we have header, heading, paragraph, and the buttons. Right now let's add the heading here. Inside this we can add a heading and just copy the text from here and write the text. Inside the text, here I will set it to this one, the first one. I will just make it like more in the width is like 960 pixels, just for the demo purpose. Right now we will change it to something else later, don't worry about it. Now let's make it center for now, and let's just look at this. They have some, okay, let's just change our heading from that to 1.3. I think this is much better now, and gap should be 0. I think 0 is fine. With website, I think, yeah, it's looking much better now. And we have auto message. Let's select the auto message and change its color to whatever we want. Let's make it this one, the main color that we already have. And let's select this container. Inside that container, let's make it stack again. We don't want any gap in the stack. We don't want gap any here. So now this one, the height is fixed. Now let's make it fit to content and add a paragraph. I'll just select this again, select this container and make it stack, and here I will just select that part and make it the body text here and copy paste the content from the website. Okay, now let's change this color because of these colors nothing is looking good. Okay, my god, look at this website hero section, right? It's coming like this one. We have hero for plugins design. Let's just squeeze it to this part. Okay, I think it's looking much nicer now. And we have buttons. So what I'm doing, I'm just dragging and dropping all the elements, and then I will use tag or grid, whatever I want here, right? Now let's use button again. We have a button and just duplicate that particular button, and here you can see the variant primary button outline here. The variant, I'm using the variant for these two. Select them and add to stack, and stack should be horizontal, and the gap between those tags should be 24 pixels here. And now let's add all these elements into a stack again. What I'm going to do, I'll choose the right click, and here we have the gap is like 24 between all those items. So let's make it 24. So here this one, I think we don't need 24 between those elements because there's a too much gap. So what I'll do, I'll just make it 0. I think this one is perfect to me with auto message website. And here we have to add that particular this sign. That will do it little later, don't worry about it. So now I'm going to let's change the text here for this button. Button content. So we have not created the button that properly yet, but let's say you can add here the content. Here you can see for the content fail. And for this one, sorry, select the text that you have in that button, and from that you can change the content here. Let's create a variable for that button label, right? And then let's use a button link or button URL. So now I have for this one, let's use button label, and for the whole button let's use for the link, let's use here, we have it to for set to button URL, right? So now if I go back to my home page, if I come down here, and as you can see here, the link I can add to this particular button. Now if I want to add a text, I can add a text also, get started. And for the second one we have learn more, right? Learn more for this button, it's get started. Now let's change it to learn more. So now this is how you can create buttons, the components. You can add those variables, you can set the variables so that your client don't have to add these components, they just can change the content without going to that component part, right? So now we have this flash icon. So now let's use it, and now let's drag and drop that particular flash icon to the web page. I will just drag and drop here to the website. Now let's find that particular flash icon. I have that icon here. What I'm doing is I'm just putting that icon next to that auto message, and then we have this image, and then we have this carousel, right? Now let's add the image to this one. To add image, I will just add this part here and this image. Let's choose the image from this particular one. We have this image here, the image is being uploading. Okay, it's been uploaded here, the image you already have. You can change the width and height of the image as per your design. So right now it's like 384 of height and 800 of width, right? So here 800 of width, let's make it 800 of width. I think it's looking 384 84 fix. Okay, I think it's looking much nicer now to me, the image. And then you have this click to see magic image also. Let's use that one as well. For that one I will just hero section, I will just use it here. And for that image part also I will just drag and drop to the canvas so that it comes out properly. Okay, so now as you can see, the image we have here, image, and then we have this text which I can use, hero text, soy. Okay, now let's use that text here somewhere. It's going outside, don't worry about it now. Let's just look at this part here. Okay, the background. Okay, the reason for the background is we have set up that particular max width. It's because of that. Now it's coming out really nice. For this one, width is 12 pixels, 1200 pixels. And for this hero section, I want it to be like the fit to content, whatever the content we have, or let's say 100%, right? 100%. And let's just look at it. Now let's look at the particular part. Look at, right? So now that issue has gone. So this is how you can create it. If I have the browser with larger, this is how it would look like. And for the image, if let's go to the image here and let's change the image, not center but from focal point from top. I want it from not center, top right, focal point. I want it from top, right? Now if you go and preview your image, now let's look at this. See, everything is coming from top, means you have nice uh, clear background here for your links, for your button and all, right? So that's how you can add that particular part. And for this one, we need them to be inside this particular hero section. Again, flash, and then we have this button as well. So now we have that button, we have that flash. Now what you can do here in this one, into this flash, and again you can create that layout here. But let's not do it right now, let's do it later. So what I'll do, I'll just remove it from here, or just add to a frame. And for this one, let's make it absolute position and change it to here, absolute position. And for this frame, fit to content, and for this one, fill. Right now, okay, I don't want any stack there for that particular stake, so let's not use any stake there, but I can use it like this. And there's my button. For the items, I want everything in the center. Now just look at this particular text I have, and I can make it to the center. And then now let's take a flash, and I have the flash there, right? So this is how you can create it. And for this one also, again, you can add them to a frame, and here you have your illustrations. Now let's look at that part and change it to add somewhere here. For example, let's do that. Now I think that's working. From that frame, I don't know why it's going outside that frame. That frame I have, let's make that frame width to fill, particular frame width to fill, and that particular button. Now let's make it more smaller. I guess let's make it smaller. I don't want that big image. The center, I have this one here. I can just use it something like that. Okay, I don't want that. Okay, so now let's preview it and see if it's looking perfect. Yeah, I think this is much nicer. I think we have to fix this part, but it's fine. So far it's working really good to me, right? So this is how I create the pages. This is how I create it. It takes some time because this is a modern layout, right? And you have to fix it from top. Let's say I can fix it from this side, not from this one. Let's say from top and the right hand side. Let's just preview how it goes now, but we have to stick that, right? So we'll touch that later on, so don't worry about that part for now. And here let's make it fit to content, not fit to content, but we have that shadow, means we have to use that part. And then we can add in that hero section, we have to add these logos. We have these trusted by another companies, these logos that we can add here. So what I'll do, I'll just drag and drop all the company logos I have. Okay, here are the company logos which I can use. Framer and these company logos, just look at them, right? And here I will add a ticker. Go to insert in the media, where let's find the ticker first here, and let me find the ticker. creative media, and where's that ticker? Okay, let me just write it. Ticker here in the elements, you find the ticker, and I can add the ticker to this page. Here I have the ticker. Let's make the width of that ticker to be fill, because it's outside of that particular container right now, right? But here it's within the container, but let's use it for outside one for now. And here I have the ticker. I can use that ticker to add items. Here I can add items like children items. How many items do we have? We have like 3 and 3 6 items. So let's go and use those items here. So to add your elements to this ticker, right? So we have created these 6 children elements, but before that let's add a frame to these particular images, then and then it will work. So I'm adding a frame for that parts. Let's add a frame for this one, and just remove the background color for that frame, right? We don't want any background color there, right? So now we have this loom, we have Webflow, then we have Framer, our tool Framer. So now select your ticker here and just drag and drop to the elements that you want. Okay, so I have my elements within this ticker. So now it's time to create the layout for this ticker. So now it's like if I just go there, now look at this, right? This is how it will work. But before that, to let's say fix width, let's make it 100 or something. I think this is fine to me. And let's add some gap. Gap should be 40 between those logos you have, and the direction you can choose, all those things that you can do from here. The padding between those ones, do you want, let's add some padding. I think it's fine. Clipping them and showing them here. So I think that's how you can add the ticker here. And if you just play it out, look at this, right? And if you want to add that container again, let's add it to a frame, and let's add a max width is 160 pixels for that max width, and this one is fill. Then I think it's fine. Now let's look at this. Now look at this, right? So if your browser width is more than 1200, then this is how it would look like. So now we have this hero section, and I think let's for the sake of this demo, let's just change for this one also, and for this part the frame, let's make it fit to content, and we don't want any. Let's take down there and let's just use it for the demo. I think we have enough space there. Let's not use that much of. I think this is perfect. Let's look at the page. Yeah, I think perfect. So now let's add some padding. Let's use the 80. I'm just using eyeballing now. 40 between those items, this one. So here's what I mostly do. I don't add shadows. I don't export images with shadows, right? Let's say if I have to export this image, because see, we are facing some issues there, right? Here it is leaving some space because of the export that I did for this one. So I'll just hide them. I'm not exporting it with shadow, but if I export it again, let's say 2 pixel or 1 pixel, one PNG, export to hero illustration. Now if they let us drag and drop this part. Okay, so now if I just change it, I just remove that part. Now look at the image, it is the same height and width, right? Not the same, but the same. Let's say try to the width 800. Now just look at this. So we don't have that particular spacing there. Spacing means shadow there, right? Now we don't have that thing over there. And now as you can see here, I have this part which I can use. Okay, let's make it like this and just look at this. Now from here you can add the shadows that you want to add. Let's say for now I'll use some dummy here, but before that let's make it fit to content. And I want it fit to content, but not with this grid. Just make it that, and that's it for this one. And I can add a shadow here. I can add a shadow here. I can use that color, and X and Y blur. Let's say I make it like 16 and let's say 32, and I can make it 40. I'm just playing with this one, and then you can spread and do other things that you want, right? So I'll just remove it for now. Let's not add a shadow here. But if you look at here, our page is ready, right? Our page is ready, which you can use this hero section. I will just make it like this much again. Now look at here, this one, this is our section there, and this is our build section here in this framer, right? It took us some time to build this one. It was very quick, right? But you have to set up everything from scratch if you are starting a project. But if you don't, then you can go and look for some libraries available in the market and you can use them here, right? Now it's time to make it responsive. You can do it yourself if you want to make it responsive, if you have played with me, right? But I think that was it. In this video we have learned the basics of grid, we have learned the basics of the frames and the stack and the ticker, to adding that slider scroll and creating a navbar, creating components in this little section, right? Creating this one, we have learned the basics of framer in this one. If you still want to learn the basics of framer, you can go and check out the full course which is available on my YouTube channel and learn more about the framer. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like the video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more. If you need a free consultation for your Webflow, Wix Studio or Framer website, do reach out to me. The link is given in the description where you can book a call with me and I can help you out with your website requirements. Until next time, happy creating.